The corporate network no longer has a perimeter. With cloud infrastructure, remote users, and third-party contractors expanding outward, the old security approach of simply asking who is connecting to the network leaves organizations exposed to massive blind spots. Modern enterprise security requires continuous answers. IT teams need to know if a specific device is trusted, if its security posture complies with corporate policy, and exactly which applications that specific user is authorized to reach at any given moment. Continuously evaluating that trust, from the moment a device connects until the moment it leaves, forms the foundation of zero-trust security. This split-screen flowchart shows exactly how access decisions have evolved. Traditional NAC used a linear, one-time gate. A user authenticates and they get access. Modern zero-trust requires a dynamic equation, continuously calculating user identity, device posture, location, and risk context. In practice, this means a corporate laptop with the latest security patches connects and gets immediate access to internal finance applications. If that same user logs in from an unmanaged personal device, the equation changes, restricting their access to internet-only or guest applications. If endpoint protection detects malware on that corporate laptop 10 minutes later, the calculation updates again, instantly moving the compromised machine into a quarantined network segment. Modern NAC functions as the central policy decision point required to enforce zero trust across the entire enterprise. Two enterprise platforms dominate this space, helping organizations execute this complex mathematics at scale: Cisco Identity Services Engine, or ISE, and Aruba ClearPass. IT leaders often begin evaluating these tools by trying to determine which one is inherently more secure. That is the wrong question to ask. Both platforms provide immense security capabilities. The actual dilemma facing a CIO or CISO is an architectural choice. Organizations must weigh the benefits of deep, single-vendor ecosystem integration against the need for agnostic, multi-vendor flexibility. Some architects manage environments heavily invested in a proprietary security stack, where everything from firewalls to wireless access points shares a single manufacturer badge. Other IT leaders manage highly fragmented, heterogeneous networks, built through acquisitions or aggressive multi-vendor procurement, where operational simplicity across diverse hardware is the absolute priority. A platform's feature list provides zero value if its underlying architectural philosophy actively fights against the organization's existing infrastructure and operational maturity. Cisco ISE operates as the most widely deployed identity-based access control engine globally. It tackles complex network environments through sheer depth of capability. ISE meticulously profiles thousands of endpoints simultaneously. It identifies and categorizes everything from Linux servers and corporate laptops to IP phones and industrial IoT devices on the factory floor. ISE acts as the central hub for the broader Cisco security stack, constantly pulling telemetry from secure firewall, secure endpoint, and SD access. If an endpoint agent detects a threat, ISE instantly rewrites the network policy and quarantines the device. Achieving this level of automated depth requires a significant trade-off. You must be willing to heavily lock your organization into the Cisco hardware and licensing ecosystem. ISE's advanced policy engine creates a heavy operational burden. Managing it demands specialized administrative skills, and troubleshooting complex policy conflicts requires a steep learning curve. Cisco ISE offers unparalleled granular zero-trust enforcement, provided the enterprise commits fully to the Cisco ecosystem and has the engineering talent to support the high operational overhead. Aruba ClearPass shifts the strategy toward interoperability, serving as a premier solution for heterogeneous environments where forcing a single vendor hardware standard is impossible. As shown in this network topology diagram, ClearPass provides vendor-neutral, unified policy management. It pushes identical security rules simultaneously across wired, wireless, and VPN environments, communicating natively with Juniper, Palo Alto, Fortinet, and Aruba hardware. ClearPass also excels at reducing IT workload by streamlining high-friction user experiences. Its workflows for onboarding BYOD devices and managing temporary guest access are highly flexible and easy for end users to navigate. ClearPass leverages an extensive device fingerprinting database to secure headless IoT devices, like security cameras and smart printers, regardless of the underlying network switches. The trade-off for this broad compatibility is the reliance on REST APIs and standard protocols. Integrating third-party tools works well, but it can sometimes result in slightly less granular native automation compared to a pure, closed-loop single-vendor stack. ClearPass sacrifices absolute native depth in exchange for the operational survival and flexibility required to secure messy, real-world multi-vendor networks. To see how these architectural philosophies play out in daily operations, we can compare how both platforms execute the 3 core principles of Zero Trust. For Principle 1, verify explicitly, ISE leans heavily on native Cisco tools to verify posture, while ClearPass verifies identity and device health by pulling a wide variety of third-party security integrations. For Principle 2, least privilege, both platforms discard flat VLANs entirely. They provide exceptional dynamic authorization, reading user identity and assigning access to only the required applications. For Principle 3, assume breach, when a firewall detects suspicious behavior, both platforms receive the signal and automatically restrict the endpoint's access. Plotting these platforms on a quadrant chart measures operational complexity against security depth. Cisco ISE plots top right, delivering massive security depth but with high complexity. Aruba ClearPass plots bottom right, maintaining excellent security while keeping operational complexity significantly lower. Both platforms successfully enforce Zero Trust, but they force IT teams to walk entirely different administrative paths to reach that destination. A NAC platform is only as strong as its ability to integrate with the reality of your existing environment. Your current hardware footprint and your team's skill set dictate the correct choice. You can follow a straightforward diagnostic decision tree to find your ideal platform. The starting node asks one question: what is your primary network ecosystem? If your environment heavily leverages Cisco SD access, Catalyst switches, and Cisco secure firewalls, follow the first path. Choose Cisco ISE. It guarantees the maximum return on your hardware investment and the deepest possible native integration. If you manage varied hardware across branches, handle heavy guest and BYOD traffic, and prioritize operational simplicity for a smaller engineering team, follow the second path. Choose Aruba ClearPass. Looking at this evaluation scorecard, the empirical metrics result in a near tie. ISE scores an 8.8 out of 10, winning on ecosystem integration, while ClearPass scores an 8.7, winning on multi-vendor flexibility. Neither choice compromises on quality. Because the technical capabilities are so closely matched, the reality of your physical environment and your organizational constraints must serve as the tiebreaker. Enterprises evaluating NAC solutions for 2026 and beyond need to stop buying platforms just to secure physical switchboards. You are choosing the identity control point that will anchor your specific Zero Trust roadmap for the next decade. Choose the one that actually fits your network.